How would you feel if someone told you that your specific person keeps on thinking about you? You would feel great, right? I know you have this desire to make them think about you nonstop. But what is the secret sauce? Is this possible? Well, there are some people who made it possible. Their specific person came to them and confessed that every day they used to think about them. It feels so wonderful after hearing this, right? You too can make it possible. With Neville's teachings, the majority of the things can be achieved, and out of them, manifesting this outcome is pretty easy. All you need is to change your state of being. Right now you are in a certain state of being that is repelling your specific person. You are in an energy dynamic that is pushing your specific person away from you. But this won't continue forever. It will change as you begin changing your state of being. There are people in the manifesting community who found this law of assumption. They try it on some things in their lives, and it manifests for them. Then they get excited, and they begin trying it on their specific person's situation. But after a few days, it feels like nothing is happening. They are trying and trying, but nothing seems to be working for them. They want to know the reason. They want to know why it is not happening, and in search of this answer, they start watching videos. They find videos related to affirming, and there are people who share their success stories that affirming worked for them. So, they begin affirming. The majority of their affirmations are related to their specific person, where they are affirming things like, my SP misses me, my SP loves me, my SP is attracted to me, my SP wants me, my SP can't stop thinking about me. Like this, they spend their day affirming about their specific person. Are you also on the same boat? Have you also done this? Have you also majorly affirmed for your specific person? If yes, then stop doing it. Affirmations are important. I am not denying it, and you can affirm for your specific person. But the majority of the focus has to be on yourself instead of your specific person. This is where the majority of the people go wrong. Instead of affirming for themselves and changing their state of being, their focus is primarily on their specific person. And this gives them anxiety. It is because it seems to be a never-ending task. I personally believe that the majority of the focus should be on ourselves. Only the rest of the minority focus has to be given towards a specific person. Like, out of 100, 90% times you have to affirm for yourself, and only the 10% has to be dedicated towards your specific person. Now, you will find people who will say that they manifested meeting their specific person, and they did it by affirming for their specific person. But after a few days, their specific person became cold and started ignoring them. They don't know why that happened. They did the affirmations, but their specific person is acting cold. You know why this happens? Well, this happens because they have a lower concept of themselves. Let me clarify this for you with the help of an example. Suppose there is a person named Julia who came across manifestation. She had this person named Robert that she wanted to manifest. She came across some channels that talk about affirmations, so she thought to give it a try. In her mind, she started affirming for Robert. Then one day out of the blue she receives a text message from Robert, and they decide to meet up. But Julia had these low concepts about herself. In her past, she faced a situation that made her believe that nothing good lasts for her. She had this sibling who was an overachiever, so she used to live in the shadow of her sibling. This made her feel inadequate, worthless, and unimportant. Also, during her high school days, she felt like she was unwanted, and she only had 1 to 2 friends. Now, after growing up, some of these beliefs are still with her. I wanted to tell you these scenarios because they play a major role in her life. Now, coming back to the scene, a date was planned, and she went to meet Robert. They talked over a few things, had delicious food, and they left. After coming back to her home, Julia started waiting for Robert to text her, but there was no message from Robert. So she waited for a few more days, and Robert didn't text her. Now, her insecurities started showing up. She texted Robert one morning, but Robert gave her a reply in the evening. This is when she started to think about why Robert is not giving an appropriate response. She started thinking, I affirmed, and it worked, but now I am back to where I started. Did I do something wrong? Well, this happens, and in the example that I gave, it happened because Julia never worked on her self-concept. Meeting Robert and going on a date with him was an experience that she considered good. But she had this belief that good things do not last for her. This belief was working against her. Also, other beliefs or the concepts she believed true about herself, such as that she was unimportant, unwanted, and worthless, kept her in a state of being that was not favorable to her. Even when she got the results by affirming for Robert, it didn't last because of her concepts about herself. This is a case with many people. After reading and understanding Neville Goddard's teachings, I came to understand that there is no one to change but oneself. To attempt to change the world before we change our concept of ourselves is to struggle against the nature of things. There can be no outer change until there is first an inner change. People are hardly making an inner change. They are living the same life that they were living 12 months ago. They were thinking in the same manner that they used to think in the past. They are feeling the same way that they used to feel before. Doing all of this and expecting a change of circumstances is a foolish thing. Nothing can be changed when you don't change yourself. Only as one is willing to give up his present limitations and identity can he become that which he desires to be. If Julia gives up her present limitations and assumes herself as a person who is already of high value in a relationship and overall in her life, only then will she be able to manifest her relationship and keep it for a long time. This is what happens. I know the majority of you don't work on your self-concepts. You just affirm for your specific person. But I personally don't think that this is the correct approach. This can be a quick fix, but it won't give lasting results. I highly recommend that if you want your specific person to think about you nonstop, then start working on your self-concepts. I personally believe that if our self-concepts are on point, then we would act in a different way, our thinking would be different, and our attraction level would be way higher. If our self-concepts are lacking, then we are in a way pushing our specific person away. There is something within us that is causing certain circumstances in our lives, and we have to correct them as soon as possible. There are certain beliefs that need to be changed, and that makes the situation unfavorable for us. We have to identify such beliefs as soon as possible and start working on them. Like, there was a person, let's call him Harry. Harry had this specific person named Vanessa. Vanessa was interested in Harry, but whenever she went out with her friends for a 2 to 3 day vacation, she would not talk to him. Harry would call her, but she would not pick up his calls and would not revert to him. Harry got frustrated by it. The first time this happened, he ignored it, and when Vanessa came back to the town, Harry called her and talked about this problem. Vanessa agreed and told Harry that she would not do it again. Everything was going great, but Harry later realized that Vanessa never used to call him first. Days passed, and Harry confirmed this when he didn't receive any call from Vanessa. It was not like Vanessa ignored her when she was in town. She used to hang out with him frequently. There was no problem with that. So, Harry ignored it, and after a few months, Vanessa again went on a trip with her friends. Harry called her, but Vanessa, being Vanessa, didn't pick up her call. This time, Harry was learning about manifestation, and he decided that he would not call Vanessa again and he would not talk about this problem with her again. He understood that there are some beliefs that are causing these kinds of situations. So, he went within and observed his past situations. He found out that he had these relationships where he felt unimportant and he was not a priority. Also, he had this belief of being unwanted. When he observed further, he identified that he has some more beliefs that are not in alignment with his desires. So he decided to change them. During this time when Vanessa was on vacation, Harry started affirming for himself. He used to speak his affirmations. He used to say, I am important, I am a priority, I am wanted, I am attractive, I am interesting, and more such affirmations. During the day he used to observe his thought pattern, and whenever he encountered some opposing beliefs, he used to correct them by repeating new statements. His 90% of focus was on changing his concepts about himself. He only used to affirm about Vanessa when there were thoughts related to Vanessa. When his mind presented him with negative ideas, what if Vanessa finds someone else? Only during this time, he used to think that Vanessa is not interested in anyone other than me. When he gets thoughts like, Vanessa would forget me or Vanessa would not call me, then only he used to correct them by thinking Vanessa constantly keeps thinking about me, and Vanessa loves to call me. After a few days when Vanessa was back in town, she called Harry and told him that she was missing him. She told him that she was thinking about him and that she wanted to meet him. Harry said that he is a bit busy this week, so Vanessa asked him to meet on the weekend. On the weekend, Vanessa behaved way differently than she used to behave, and Harry found the secret sauce of making her specific person change her behavior towards him. This is why I am saying, change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself, and they will confirm the change. It was Harry's core beliefs that made him behave, act, and think in a way that was not fruitful for him. The moment he changed them is the moment his world changed, and Vanessa being a messenger showed him what he believes about himself. Vanessa confirmed the change. Therefore, I highly recommend you change your beliefs about yourself. Only you are stopping yourself from having it. You can achieve your goals, you can manifest favorable circumstances only when you change your beliefs about yourself. So, I urge you to primarily focus on yourself instead of your specific person. There are some beliefs that are stopping you. Affirmation tapes can help you in such scenarios. I have designed one such affirmation tape that will help you to change these beliefs. You can find it by clicking on the first video that appears on the screen.